Welcome to our very first look. We've got early access at Starfield. This is really neat. So excited. We have all waited a long time for this. And I'm trying not to show you guys any spoilers.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, I work in the Star Dock. Except, with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
A group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Now that cutscene was extremely neat. When he put the mask on, how their voices changed, the
little longer. Grab some
the sounds from the external world around you, it sounds extremely high fidelity.
Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Star collective space? You were right. Jobs like this in the United Colonies? Huh. Reams of red tape.
For being a scripted scene, the environment around me actually feels very large.
This one over here. Calvert! No! No.
Oh wow, look at that.
Ease up, not a sledgehammer! Ease up! Benning, you got paid per break. You'd be a millionaire. Let's go! Yeah, okay.
Nice job with the stalagmites and stalactites. Very cool, very cool.
No exceptions. Come on, pick it up. Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional
Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, okay then. Let's call this one tapped. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I am playing on controller, and yeah, trying to figure out the buttons.
Grab a cutter and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cabin. I'll shout out when I need you.
I will say that this is one of those games where if you're on PC like myself, I would probably recommend doing the mouse and keyboard instead of controller. And I say that because there's a ton of menus.
I'm busy.
And when you're navigating those menus on a controller, it seems very clunky. Unlike coming out of a vault, you do not have VATs right now. Everything is manual aiming. If you have coordination issues, I know that's something that you might want to keep in mind too. There may be a setting somewhere that you can adjust for that.
Come on, with me.
And here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
My light definitely feels insignificant, and I'm sure that that's upgradable at some point.
Let's go.
But the ambiance and everything that they have created,
Get the readings.
everything pairs well together. It seems very immersive.
Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly. That's what I was told anyway.
Okay, now you're starting to freak me out.
Relax. It's just another job. Come on.
Well, the environments so far are really, really cool.
We're getting close, I think. Yeah, everything is just... Well, Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
Why would anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Hey, don't look at me. I've done my part. Good luck in there.
Well, I will tell you that it does have a very ominous feel.
Still getting weird gravity readings.
That was me talking upon recording this, and it does have a very ominous feel because you have no idea what you're going to encounter. Clearly this is just a first look, and it's more or less the intro of the game. Not disappointed so far. The controls are something to be desired, but I have to get used to all the menus. That was very odd. Look at that. They've done a really good job with these cutscenes. They're pretty phenomenal. I'm gonna give them that.
Hey, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Okay, so here we are in the character creation. You're going to have to go through this all on your own, build your character. There's a lot to it. There's a ton of different things that you can actually alter. The menus, much like a lot of the other building systems, you know, from Bethesda, it doesn't give you the most detailed description on, hey, this does this exactly. So you're going to have to play around with it and figure it out. But there are a ton of options. I mean, you're going to be able to create your character pretty much any way that you want. You can give your character green or pink skin or purple, whatever you want. There's a lot of detail in it. But I went ahead and I sped this up because this is a really long process. You can spend a ton of time doing this. Way more than I'd like to admit. And then this is another thing where you have to pick your attributes, and they're just your basic ones, so you're going to expand from there. But there's a ton of different options. Read through all of them and then see what you want to be as a character. They give you so many options, which is freaking phenomenal. It's our first flight. Yeah, our first flight. I did cut out a scene prior to that. It's basically how we acquired the ship. I tried to remove spoilers. I didn't want to run it in this video for anybody. But the intro, it was very good. Very good. It's definitely enjoyable. They go through your flight training. It's more or less just your basic tutorial that you have to go through with any game that you're going to play. So I fast forwarded through a lot of that stuff, and then I removed the spoilers because I don't want to run it for people. I just want them to essentially kind of have a rough idea what the game's going to be about and what it's like.
Enemy shields are down, Captain. Ballistic weaponry excels at damaging the hull once shields are offline.
So now as far as future gameplay, there are going to be a lot of spoilers. I will be doing some tips and tricks, but I wanted to give you guys essentially a first look on kind of what to expect, what it's going to look like in game. But I didn't want to ruin it for anybody. The world does feel very in-depth and very large, which that's a good thing. Obviously, being in the intro phase, it is a very linear storyline. And, you know, that's for obvious reasons. You have to go through the tutorial. They're kind of explaining how things work, so that's very understandable. When you do get into the game, it is not linear at all. I mean, you have your options, so you can go do your mission quest lines, follow different quests, explore different quests. But it is a huge, huge sandbox that you get to play in. We've already been to the city of New Atlantis. I did cut that out because that is part of the storyline and not just the intro. And I'll let you be able to discover that on your own. I didn't want to ruin it for anybody in this video. This one's spoiler free. But we will be doing some tips and tricks, and then a much more in-depth explaining of what's going on in-game. There really is a lot to it. That's one thing that I definitely do like. It seems like Bethesda has went more back to the roots of an RPG, where there are a ton of options, especially with your character, you know, the development and how you want to play. There's so many options, so many different ways that you can build your character. It's pretty impressive.
Crimson Fleet Captain. A recent scan indicates an abandoned facility on the nearby moon of Crete, a perfect staging area for pirates.
Yeah, right here I'm trying to figure out, well, what's my next move? Because obviously the intro is pretty linear. But I tried to cut out as many spoilers as I could.
We have arrived in orbit. The abandoned facility with our Crimson Fleet Captain is on the surface.
Obviously, a lot of these menus, they don't pop up after you've went through your tutorial or anything. There are a ton of different navigation menus. And that's why I was saying I think that this would be a much easier interface to use if you're not using controller. Essentially, you can just hotkey a lot of those menus. Where when you're on controller, you have to open a menu and then go into another menu to go into another menu. So there is a little learning curve there. But when you walk out into these created worlds, they do feel very expansive, and they are. Pay attention, you can hear Vasco, my robot companion. You'll hear him walking. And that sound is very similar to a Scorch Beast Queen on 76, so he scared the hell out of me a few times. Not gonna lie. So there it is, that's our first look. They did a really good job with the lighting and the graphics, and this is the inside of your ship. It's just a loner, but I don't want to ruin everything. So until next time, you have yourself a great day. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you on the next one.